here, taking a look at some stacking options for tonight's 7-game slate. Overall, I got some decent pitching options going here, so not a ton to like as far as stacks, but you can certainly get a couple teams here with some high run totals. Jumping into the first one here, Phillies and Mets. Noah Syndergaard versus Aaron Nola in Citi Field. No real interest in stacking here, especially on the Phillies side. On the Mets side of things, I mean, Aaron Nola is a pretty good right-hander. Struggle with lefties early on in his career, but I mean, this guy, when healthy, is certainly an above-average right-hander. Does have a good ground ball rate, decent strikeout rate, doesn't walk a ton of guys. So I'm not really looking for a full-blown stack with either of these sides. Baltimore, Cincinnati, Scott Feldman versus Wade Miley. One of the higher run totals. There is some rain in the area. Keep an eye on this one. But looking at the Baltimore side of things first, look at Feldman. For the most part, struggled with lefties. Didn't allow a ton of hard contact. Pretty average against righties as well, 304 WOBA. Once again, not a ton of hard contact, but good ballpark here. Feldman's still about an average right-hander at best. Definitely don't mind guys like Adam Jones, Manny Machado, Chris Davis, Mark Trumbo, Trey Mancini if he's in the lineup. Expensive stack, but you can definitely make it work tonight. In that ballpark, there's a lot of potential for Baltimore, especially a team that just hits a ton of home runs. So they're certainly in play. As far as the red side of things go, I definitely like them as well. You look at Miley, he's one of those guys who's just he can be kind of crafty sometimes, but most times he's just a boomer bust guy. Miley, 354 WOBA to righties last year, 1.48 home runs per 9. Does give up some home runs, and you do look at some guys, like Adam Duvall, who had over 200 ISO against righties last year. Eugenio Suarez has over 200 ISO in his career against lefties. Joey Votto is still very capable of hitting left-handers. Billy Hamilton goes to the right side. Jose Peraza from the right side. These guys all certainly in play. So definitely like some of the Reds guys. Are they cash game stack? Probably not. Wouldn't leave it to more tournaments. But there's a lot of upside, even though Vegas isn't showing them a ton of love, even at home. Washington, Atlanta, Steven Strasburg versus R.A. Dickey. You look at Washington against Dickey, they don't have a ton of success, but it's kind of been a while too for most of these guys. I mean, given that Dickey's only been in Atlanta for a year now, but as far as things go, I don't mind stacking this red hot offense. They did 20 hits last night. I think they will be popular. Obviously, Bryce Harper's dialed in, Daniel Murphy, Adam Eaton, Anthony Rendon, Ryan Zimmerman, all in play. You do look at Dickey, 1.69 home runs per 9 to lefties last year, 341 WOBA allowed. To righties, 1.35, 340 WOBA allowed. Nationals, one of the best teams against right-handed pitching right now. It's just a matter of, basically, if you look at BVP, mediocre against Dickey in the past, but I do have some interest here in some of these guys. I just think with how dialed in they are. So I'm certainly okay with using them, but it's one of those ones where the knuckleball, it might not completely pan out. You just might get a couple spots here and there. So it still is a little bit risky. On the Brave side of things, not really a big fan here. Royals, Rangers in Texas, Danny Duffy versus Andrew Cashner. As far as the Royals side goes, this is a good spot for them. Look at Cashner, still struggled in his opener. Go back to last year, 40% hard ball rate to lefties, 369 WOBA allowed, 1.69 home runs per 9. Righties, 351 WOBA allowed, over 30% hard contact rate. Alex Gordon off to a rough start. I mean, Mike Moustakas, you can feel good about. Salvador Perez, Eric Hosmer, I'm okay with. Lorenzo Cain's a guy usually like target against lefties, but I definitely don't mind here in this ballpark. Royals do have one of the better totals on the night, and Andrew Cashner is certainly one of the weaker right-handers, so I'm okay with definitely firing away there. On the Texas side, it's kind of tougher. I mean, a couple righties to open things up. I mean, Carlos Gomez, Elvis Andrus, Mike Napoli, Jonathan Lucroy, but It's not like, Danny Duffy's a slouch. You go back to last year, I mean, 1.47 home runs per nine, 316 will ball out, 38% hard contact rate. So there's definitely some red flags against right-handers, but um, I don't think it's a bad stack, but it's probably just more of a one-off territory, two-off territory, more than 4 or 5 man stack from Texas tonight. Cardinals, Milwaukee, Zach Davies versus Carlos Martinez. In Miller Park here, both sides are actually playable for me. I mean, I know the Cardinals' offense really isn't all that great, but the front four, Fowler looked good yesterday. Obviously, with 2 home runs. Ledemus Diaz getting the day off. Hopefully, he can get back off his slump here. Matt Carpenter, Stephen Piscotty, all in potential here against really lackluster right-hander in Zach Davies. 3.32 WOBA allowed to righties, 1.22 home runs per nine. Sorry, that was to lefties. As far as righties go, he's also very edge, 317 WOBA allowed, 34% hard contact rate. So, Fowler, Diaz, Piscotty, Carpenter all open things up from both sides of the plate. So I don't mind it, especially in that ballpark. Miller Park favors both lefties and righties pretty heavily. And as far as the Brewer side of things go, I mean, both sides of this, I mean, Carlos Martinez and Milwaukee are the ultimate kind of boomer bust plays tonight. Ryan Braun's been absolutely on fire. Jonathan Villar is a big strikeout candidate, but we know his upside. Travis Shaw hitting the ball well. I don't mind the front four there of Villar, Thames, Braun, and Shaw because I think both sides are really good GPP boomer bust plays with Carlos Martinez double-digit strikeout upside again. And you just look at the Brewers who, I mean, they are rolling right now. And at home, they're certainly really, big in play. So definitely you can fire away. I think it's going to be a little bit of a contrarian move because Vegas really isn't indicating a lot there. Carlos Martinez is certainly one of the respectable right-handers on this slate, so you might be able to actually draw them at lower ownership despite their hot streak tonight. Arizona, San Diego, Clayton Richard versus Patrick Corbin. No real stacking opportunities here. It's just more of a one-off territory with the 2 lefties there in Petco. That's about it. Seattle, Oakland, James Paxton versus Cesar Valdez. Valdez is just kind of a 32-year-old right-handed journeyman. He's played in Mexico over the last few years. His minor league numbers don't look any good. I like a Seattle stack here, predicted for over 4.5 runs. Definitely not the most friendly ballpark, but obviously Seattle plays their games in Safeco. So I really don't mind the likes of Jared Dyson, Mitch Haniger, Robinson Cano, Nelson Cruz, Kyle Seager. They're all in play. And I also had a decent value stack, too. I mean, Dyson, Haniger, they continue to have cheap prices. Cano, Cruz, Seager, all not that bad. So, against the lackluster righty, I'm okay with targeting the Mariners. On the Oakland side, I'm a big believer in Paxton. I like what he's doing this year. I'm definitely not stacking the ace. So that's going to wrap things up here with me. You can check out DailyFantasyCafe.com for all our great tools and content.